Now, Vince McMahon has been out of the picture in WWE for over a year now due to his ongoing lawsuit with Janelle Grant that essentially ended his time with the company, and while most fans are certainly very happy with Triple H running things behind the scenes in creative, and overseeing a lot of the bigger picture things when it comes to WWE, with many feeling like Hunter has only elevated WWE since taking over and has made the weekly shows and premium live events better, there's no doubt that some fans have the question in their mind, like how does Vince McMahon feel about the current WWE product and the overall direction of the company now that he's no longer involved with WWE? Well, Endeavor TKO president Mark Shapiro was recently interviewed by CNBC and revealed that he had met with Vince McMahon for breakfast a couple of weeks ago to catch up with Vince after the release of the Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix, firstly revealing, quote, "I had breakfast with him a few weeks ago, just to check in, been a long time, haven't heard from him at all. Obviously the series on Netflix came out, I wanted to see kind of where he was. By the way, he couldn't have been more cooperative, he couldn't have been nicer, he was a total pro. At breakfast, if you will, it's a one-on-one get-together. But he's out of the business entirely. He doesn't make decisions, he's not on the board, he doesn't opine, we don't consult him. He's got some litigation that he's working through, and frankly, he wants the privacy and the time to work through it, which is great, because in the meantime, we're going to keep building TKO and WWE, and expanding the horizon, expanding the opportunities. And by the way, he's still a shareholder. Not the shareholder he once was, but he's still a shareholder." When asked about Vince McMahon's thoughts on the current landscape of WWE and its direction, Shapiro said, quote, "Couldn't have been more positive, but I wasn't asking for his opinion. Now, Vince McMahon will likely remain banned on WWE television until when and if his name is cleared in the Janelle Grant lawsuit, which definitely makes sense. But clearly Vince feels WWE is in good hands with TKO and Triple H running things creatively after departing the company. Now, there's been some news revealed regarding Malachi Black's status with All Elite Wrestling, the star formerly known as Aleister Black in WWE, and clearly a WWE return could be looming for the former NXT champion. After Malachi's bizarre loss to Adam Cole last night on Dynamite, many fans questioned if this was basically the end of Malachi Black in AEW, and one source, Fightful Select, reported that the word backstage in All Elite Wrestling is that his contract with the company is up either in late 2024 or early next year, depending on if any extension clauses are exercised by AEW. Now Malachi Black had reportedly asked for his release back in 2022, with the speculation at the time suggesting that Malachi was interested in returning to WWE. But at the end of the day, Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling rejected his release request. With Malachi Black seemingly on the outs with All Elite Wrestling, there's likely a very good chance that he could be planning a return to WWE in the near future, and it definitely makes a whole lot of sense. Malachi Black hasn't been doing anything too spectacular in AEW, and with Triple H firmly in charge of creative in WWE, no doubt a return to the company would seem very appealing for the wrestler formerly known as Aleister Black, especially considering his wife, Zelina Vega, currently works for WWE. And Aleister returning to the company would allow for the couple to spend a lot more time together, which is probably what they both want. Let us know down in the comments section below if you guys would be excited for an Aleister Black WWE return in the near future, or do you feel like he's better off in AEW and should stay put in All Elite Wrestling? A lot of wrestling fans were completely stunned with the result of the Roman Reigns and the Usos versus the Bloodline match at Crown Jewel 2024 this past weekend, because not only did Reigns, Jimmy, and Jay lose the match to the new Bloodline, it was actually the OTC Roman Reigns himself who was pinned by Solo Sikoa for the 3 count to end the match. Now, to say that Roman Reigns doesn't get pinned very often would be a massive understatement, and Triple H having Reigns eat the pin to Solo Sikoa was a booking call that many fans called into question after Crown Jewel was over and done with. But regardless, Solo Sikoa and the new Bloodline defeated Roman Reigns and the Usos, and fans have been patiently waiting to hear from the OTC following the shocking defeat at Crown Jewel, because Reigns was visibly devastated after the loss at the show last Saturday. However, thankfully, Roman Reigns is clearly doing fine after Crown Jewel, because Roman Reigns essentially broke his silence, so to speak, on social media earlier this afternoon, posting a bunch of photos from Crown Jewel on Twitter with a cryptic caption reading TBC that many fans have been trying to decipher ever since, with some feeling like it translates to something along the lines of "to be continued." Now, Solo Sikoa and the new Bloodline may have gotten the best out of the Usos and Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel, but to say that this storyline is far from being finished would be a massive understatement, as no doubt the OTC plans to regroup and get things orderly in the OG Bloodline following the Crown Jewel defeat, and get revenge on the new Bloodline in the very near future, likely at the upcoming Survivor Series War Games event later this month, and hopefully Sami Zayn joins Reigns and the Usos in their fight against the Bloodline next time, not to mention the Wiseman Paul Heyman returning to stand alongside his tribal chief and the original Bloodline. Now, we had just touched upon Vince McMahon earlier in this video regarding his thoughts on the current landscape of WWE after departing the company unceremoniously, and according to a wrestling veteran and former WWE writer Vince Russo, Triple H may soon find himself in a situation where fans are asking about his own thoughts or opinions of the landscape of WWE after he himself is gone and removed from the company, which is a headline that's sure to get everyone talking and debating. Clearly, Vince Russo feels the Triple H era in WWE is going to be a short-lived one, because recently on his The Brand podcast, Russo basically predicted that Triple H's run in WWE will be over next year in 2025, and that Dwayne Johnson could be his replacement, with Russo stating the following details on his podcast, quote, "Guys, I have said this, and I am not going to go off of my prediction. I think Hunter will be gone from the WWE in 2025. I'm sorry. These lawsuits are going to develop. A lot more is going to come out of them. Ari Emanuel has The Rock on the board. Ari Emanuel and The Rock have a very, very, very long relationship. And The Rock is so key to this, because why do I need Triple H if I got The Rock? You don't think The Rock doesn't have a laundry list of people that he'd want to hire and bring into the fold? Brian Gewert's at the top of that list. I don't really see a need for Triple H if Ari's got Rock in his back pocket. Now, Vince Russo's wild take that Triple H will be gone from WWE next year comes after Lee Cole. The brother of former ring boy Tom Cole also predicted that Hunter, along with other Vince McMahon associates, would be gone from WWE soon on a recent episode of the Wrestling with the Devil podcast, with Lee Cole revealing, quote, "Mark my words, you'll see this man Nick Khan take over. Right now, he's kind of in charge already, but he's gonna really be in charge. He'll bring in his whole regime and stuff, and he'll be part of the changes, and they're not gonna deal with these guys like Pritchard. They're not gonna deal with a Triple H anymore because they can't. They have to answer to their stockholders." Now let us know down in the comments section if you guys believe that Vince Russo's prediction that Triple H will be gone from WWE next year is an accurate one, or do you feel like Russo is slightly off his rocker with this kind of an assessment, and that Hunter isn't going anywhere anytime soon, and that Triple H is far too valuable to the WWE brand to just remove or replace? Honestly, it seems far-fetched to us personally, but let us know your take down in the comments section below. Well guys, that's it for today's major wrestling news. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you'll never miss out on an episode. Finally, if you haven't already, give us a follow on Twitter at TSE Wrestling, and we will see you guys in the next video.